Hi friends, now we are going to discuss about the topic of control structure in Java. Java program control structure following categories are selection statement, it is also called as decision making statement. Next, iteration statement, it is also called as loop statement. And last, jump statements, and we discuss about the three type of control structure. First, selection statement. Selection statement allow the program to test several conditions and execute instructions based on which condition is true. This why the selection statements also referred to as conditional statements. In selection statements, there are two types of statements, that is if statements and switch statements. In if statements, there are four types of if statements, that is simple if statement, if else statement, if else if ladder, nested if statement. In this, first we can discuss about the simple if statement. Simple if statement, it is called as conditional statement. Normally, we use these statements to check condition whether it is true or false. If the condition is true, the statement is executed. Otherwise, it will avoid the statement of it. And the simple syntax of simple if statement. In that, if the condition is true, the statement was print. Suppose the condition is false, the statement or not print, it will exit. And example of simple if statement. In this, we assume x equals to 10 and another value is 20. We want to check whether x is less than of 20. In this statement, it is true. Next, we see about the if-else statement. If-else statement is an extension of the if statement. In if-else statement, it is also used to test a condition. If condition is true, then the code inside the if statements is executed. Otherwise, else part is executed. And syntax for if-else statement. If it is the keyword of this statement and then the condition is true, else statement was print, and statements was false, it was execute. In example, we create a class and declare a main method and give two values x and y and check whether x is greater than y. In this, x equals to 0, x equals to 10 and y equals to 12. So x is not greater than y. And next, if else if ladder statement. If else if ladder statement contains the if statement followed by multiple else if statement. It is the chain of if else statement that create a decision tree where the program may enter in the block of code where the condition is false. And the syntax for if else if ladder statement, it is also known as conditional statement. It is used to work on multiple conditions. Syntax for if else if ladder statement. Just we give if condition and we give if else if statement, and first condition is true, it was printed. Suppose it is false, next we check the else if statement. It is true, it was printed. It is also false, you want to check the third statement, and the third statements are false. At last, default statement was printed. And examples of if else if ladder statement is, in this first we declare class and main method and we declare I individual value and give the value is 20 and we give the value is 10 and it was false. And last statement we will give the value 20, it was true statement. And at last statement of if statement is nested if statement. Nested if statement means if statement inside an if statement, or if else statement, or else if statement. Syntax for nested if statement. In if statement, execute when condition 1 is true and execute condition 2 is true, and else statement execute when condition 2 is false. Example of nested if statement. In this, first we declare a class and main, and we declare the value of x and y. X equals to 30 and y equals to 10, and we execute the inside of if statements. And next we see about the switch statements. In Java, switch statements are similar to if-else if statements. The switch statement contains multiple blocks of code called cases, and a single case is executed based on the variable which is being switched. The switch statement is easier to use instead of if-else if statement. It is also enhances the readability of the program. In switch case, the case variables can be hint, short, byte, char or enumeration. String type is also supported since version 7 of Java. Cases cannot be duplicated. Syntax for switch statement. It is nothing but of switch expressions. We assume the case value 1 and statement 1 and break statement, and it is a default statement. Like that, in example, we create a number and break statement of the nested if statement. We discuss about the topic of jump statements. Jump statements are three types: break statement, continue statement and return statement. Break statement. In Java, break statement used to terminate a statement sequence in a switch statements and also to exit a loop. Using break to exit a loop. By using break, you can force immediate termination of a loop, bypassing the conditional expression and any remaining code in the body of the loop. When a break statement is encountered inside a loop, the loop is terminated and program control resumes at the next statement following the loop. Here a simple example to exit loop 1 is 10. Continue statement. Sometimes it is useful to force an early iteration of a loop. That is, you might want to continue running the loop by stopping processing the remainder of the code in its body for this particular iteration. The continue statement performs such an action. In while and do while loops, a continue statement causes control to be transferred directly to the conditional expression that controls the loop. In a for loop, controls goes first to the iteration portion of the for statement and then to the conditional expression. For all three loops, any intermediate code is avoided. Return statement. The return statement is used to explicitly return from the method. That is, it causes program control to transfer back to the caller of the method. As such, it is categorized as a jump statement. At any time in a method, the return statement can be used to cause execution to branch back to the caller of the method. Thus, the return statement immediately terminates the method in which it is executed. The following example illustrates this point. Here, return causes execution to return to the Java runtime system, since it is the runtime system that calls main function. Next, we can discuss about the iteration statement. I already said iteration statement is also known as loop statements. In loop statements, there are three types: while loop, for loop and do while loop. First, we can discuss about the while loop. While loop is Java's most fundamental loop statement. It repeats a statement or block while its controlling expression is true. As soon as the Boolean condition becomes false, the loop automatically stops and the syntax for while loop. In this, we use the keyword of while statements, and next you want to declare condition. If the condition is true, you want execute the statement it was print. And next we declare the increment and decrement statement, an example of the while loop, and in this first we declare a class as while example, and next main method, and we use to declare the value 1 in I, and next give the condition inside of the while statement and declare I equals to 1 and while I less than equals to 10, and if the statement was true the conditions are printed, and next do while loop. As you just saw, if the conditional expression controlling a while loop is initially false, then the body of the loop will not be executed at all. However, sometimes it is desirable to execute the body of the loop at least once, even if the conditional expression is false to begin with. In other words, there are times when you would like to test the termination expression at the end of the loop rather than at the beginning. Fortunately, Java supplies a loop that doesn't just that. While do while. The do while loop always executes its body at least